Hello students, you are welcome to today's lesson. Last lesson we actually looked at manufacturing industry and the role it plays in the economic development of a nation. This lesson will be looking at another important economic activity, which is transportation. Transportation is what we are all involved in our day-to-day activity. And as such, there's need for us to discuss it. At this lesson, we're looking at various objectives. One, being able to define transportation, be able to state the various modes of transport, discuss land transportation and its type, and also be able to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of road transportation in Nigeria and some of the problems and limitations of road transportation in Nigeria. Also, at this lesson, we'll be looking at the railway transportation, its advantages and disadvantages, and the problems and limitations of railway transportation in Nigeria, and also some of the solutions. Also, at this lesson, we're looking at the role or contribution of transportation to the economic development of Nigeria. Now, the question is, what is transportation? Transportation is defined as the movement of people, goods, and commodities from one place to another, either by land, water, or by air. People move for various reasons, and as such, we need to study transport. Thereafter, we'll talk about the different modes of transportation. Talking about the modes, like I said, we have three major modes of transportation, which is land, water, and air. Now, we said the land transport is divided into three: footpaths, the road, and the railway. Now, talking about the road transport involves the use of motor cars, buses, motorcycles, lorries, and truck to move people and goods from one place to another. In Nigeria, we also have water transport, which has to do with the movement of people using canoe or boats, and of course the air transport, which makes use of aeroplane. At this lesson, we're concentrating on land transport. Now, we said road transport. Road transport, we said, involve the use of motorcycles and cars. In Nigeria, we have three types of road: the trunk A, the trunk B, and the trunk C. Trunk A are those roads that are constructed and maintained by federal government. Trunk B, they are constructed by state government. While C, they are constructed and maintained by local government. And they are majorly on tarred road. Then, talking about footpaths. Footpaths are used by people moving on foot, bicycles and motorcycles, and beasts of burden. Examples of beasts of burden: we have camels, we have horses and donkeys. Now, the importance of the footpath is that they are more useful for local trade than other means of transport because they connect even remote villages. Now, talking about the road transport, third, it involves the use of motor cars, buses, lorries, and truck to move people and goods from one place to another. Some of the advantages of road transport is that it provides door-to-door services and it makes goods available where they are scarce. It also facilitates the movement of people within short distances. And some of the disadvantages is that they are very expensive to construct and maintain. And also, the amount of goods and passengers carried by roads is limited. Road transport is also prone to damages and washed out caused by erosion. Now we also talk about they are prone to accidents. Accidents could be on the part of the driver being careless, that is, we call it human factor, or it could also be physical factor, which is as a result of bad roads and others. Then we also have other problems caused by erosion, which tend to destroy most of our roads. Some of the limitation of road transport is the presence of highlands and other rugged relief. Then we also have presence of swamping areas, soil erosion caused by heavy rain, thereby destroying our roads. And of course, lack of finance to construct some of these major roads. Some of the solution of road transport is that roads should be constructed. We said roads should be constructed on lowlands, and also construction of bridges across rivers, and funds should be readily available to maintain roads. And of course, we said highland areas. In highland areas, it is difficult to construct roads as well, because all these highlands need to be pulled down. Then talking about rail transport in Nigeria. Rail transportation is the cheapest and the slowest means of transportation on land. Nigeria has 3,502 kilometers of railway lines and is of a single track, having narrow gauge of 107 cm. Some of the advantages of railway transport include: 1. The most convenient means of transporting bulky goods. 2. It is very cheap in the transportation of people and goods from one place to another. Then we also talk about it helps to open up new land, which potentially good for minerals or agricultural crop. Now, some of the disadvantages is that it involves high cost of construction and maintenance, it's very slow, and of course, some of the limitation is very slow and low patronage and high competition with other forms of Then this will take us to the economic importance of transportation to the economy of Nigeria. One of them, we talk about trade. Trade has to do with the buying and selling. It enhances trade. By so doing, it helps to enhances trade. Then we also talk about technology. It brings about the infusion of ideas and technology. And we talk about national integration and, of course, access to natural resources. Now, what about the diffusion of ideas and technology? Through transportation, new ideas and technology are transferred from one country to another. And, of course, we talk about tourism. It leads to tourism. People move from one place to another in order to know what a place looks like. and why it is like that. With this, we have come to the end of it. With this, we have come to the end of the class. Thanks for watching. Do hope to see you in my next class.